I just built a fully animated 3D website, and I did this just by prompting, no design tool, no code written by hand. And let me show you exactly how I built this. Hi, my name is Neka, co-founder of Orchestrix, and together with my co-founder Fight, we build AI automations and web product for businesses. And today I am showing you how to build this from scratch to finish. Let's dive in. So for this, we are using Claude Code to build our 3D animated site, and we're going to install Claude Code in Visual Studio Code. Now, to get Visual Studio Code, if you don't have Visual Studio Code, all you need to do is go to Visual Studio Code, and it's going to bring you to this interface. So depending on your operating system, Linux, Mac, Windows, I am using Windows, and I already have Visual Studio Code installed in my system. So I am just going to go right into Visual Studio Code now. So to get started, you have to install Claude Code in your Visual Studio Code. To do this, you go to Extension and you search for Claude Code. Make sure you're getting the one verified by Entropic. If you don't install the one verified by Entropic, this is not going to work well for you. So make sure you're getting the verified version. Now, I already have Claude Code installed here. So we're just going to go straight into it right now. So click on this and it's going to bring you into Claude Code. So let's wait for this to load. Now, so let's have a new section. We have our Claude Code here. So to start on Claude Code, make sure you have a subscription. You can be using the Pro or the Max plan, or you can have your Cloud API key. This, I am using our Cloud API key. For this, I also have a subscription. So you can pick the one you want. So now to get started, we have to create a folder. If you don't already have a folder set for this, you click on Files and click on Open Folder. So for us, we don't have a folder here. So we're just going to create a new folder. Click on Create a new folder, and we're just going to say 3D Sites. Then click out of this, and then you already have this saved. So click on Select Folder, and this is going to open up our folder here for us. So now all we need to do right now is, because we need to install a skill. Skill is what is going to tell Claude Code exactly how to handle our 3D website. So it's going to help us build our 3D site. So to do this, we're going to go to the terminal. We're going to use the terminal here. We open a new terminal. So we have a couple of skills that I have created, and you're going to see that in the link in the description. So check the description. You're going to see everything I have here. So first, we're going to take this skill. You can copy this exactly how I am copying this, and we're going to impute it in the terminal. And before we do that, we have to open up Cloud. We have to tell the terminal that we want to communicate with Cloud. So type Cloud here and just click Enter. And this is going to open up Cloud for us. So trust this folder. Yes, we do trust this folder. Now we can paste our skill here. This was pasted 2 times, so we can delete the other one. Just delete everything and just paste it again. So be careful when you're pasting yours, because this can happen. So do that one more time. Oh, this is still happening again. I have to delete this so that I have the right one. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, it looks like I didn't paste that well, so let me paste that again. For some reason, it keeps pasting 2 times. So I have to be careful. So be careful with this when you're pasting it. Yes, so that again. So now this is working. So it's installing our skill here right now. So let's give it a minute for it to finish installing our skill. Okay. Okay, this is successful. So now we have to get our second skill that we're going to install in Claude Code. So let's go ahead and grab the second one. Now this is the second one. You just copy it and do the same thing that we did before. This skill is just telling our Claude Code, okay, this is what we want. Okay, so this happened again. I'll just delete it. Okay, so it's saying skill not found. I think we did something there. Okay, so this has worked. So this has installed successfully. So now let's grab our second skill and install that. So this one, now the third skill we're going to add is for the 3D animation. So you just copy this the same way. So when you're copying yours and pasting it, just make sure you're just doing it once, or you use Ctrl+V so that you don't have to paste that twice like me. So now I just use Ctrl+V here so that I don't have to paste that a second time. So this has successfully installed. That was very quick. We'll get the last skill. So this is the last one here. Copy this exactly like that. Now paste this. And this is successful. So this is done. Now the last one, because it mentioned here that we need to reload this skill so that it will make sure that this is properly installed, then we just grab this reloader here. So this is the reload plugin. This is going to reload all the plugins we have there that we just installed. So copy that, paste it, and click on Enter. And you can see this is successful. Now our plugin, our skills, they're all installed successfully. Now let's go into Claude Code and begin to build this. Now, first of all, we're going to add our cloud.md file. Now this cloud.md file is just an instruction to Claude Code, telling it exactly what we are trying to achieve. So that's without this cloud.md file, it has to go ahead and reread everything. So let's assume that we've done so much prompting here, and for some reason, we go out of this Claude Code, or when it's done building, or for some reason we need it to actually read or continue from where it stops. But because we have a cloud.md file, it's just going to read the cloud.md file, get an idea of what we are trying to achieve, and just start from where we actually stop, instead of going ahead to read the entire context that we have in our window. So now let's go ahead and just add our cloud.md file. To do that, you click on this and we'll name it cloud.md. So now we'll add our cloud.md here so that it's going to be added into. So we have that here too as well. This is the cloud.md here. So I'm going to also attach this file in the description too as well. Copy this and add it to the file we just built. So just paste it. So now we have our cloud.md file. Now what I'm going to do here now is click on File. You can click on Ctrl+X and this is going to be saved. So we have this saved now. Now we'll have to start chatting with Claude. So we're going to chat with Claude now. I have all the prompts in here. So all you need to do is just copy and paste it. So we're going to tell Claude to read our cloud.md, and we also want to create something called a progress.md file, so that when Claude is building, it just updates the progress.md so that it has context. Wherever it stops, it just adds it to the progress.md file, and this progress.md file is just saving all the progress that Claude is making. Now that's what this progress.md file is. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it directly into our Claude charts. So again, you just click enter. So now it's going to start rendering our cloud.md file, and it's also going to create our progress.md file too before we dive into building our 3D websites. So now let's wait for it to build. So we have the Claude sending us a message, a prompt. So this here, we're going to click yes. Now, if you don't want it to keep asking you for permissions, you can actually bypass permission here, but I want it to actually ask me before it adds anything into the folder or builds anything. So I'm going to approve this, but let's keep on, let it keep building. If I see it's getting too much, I just click on bypass permission so that it just keeps going without asking me for any more permission. I think at this point, I'll just tell it bypass permission, so it just adds everything to the folder without asking me. So you can actually read what Claude is working on, the thought process and everything. It actually makes sense to actually read on it, and so you get more knowledge and see what exactly Claude is trying to do. So it's working with our cloud.md file. So you see the only file we have here is the cloud.md file, but as it's building, it keeps adding files here by itself. Now that we bypass permission, it doesn't need our permission to actually create anything here. So it's just going to keep building till it's done building. So when it's done with this rendering, then we can also add the second prompt, which is going to use to like keep building for us. So let's wait for it to actually finish what it's doing, then we can continue. So here it is asking us the kind of color, the brand color we want. So this here is not a permission. It also asks us to be sure the brand color we actually want. So you can read through it and actually decide the brand color you want. So for this, I'm just going to pick this. I feel like this is going to give it a more eccentric color, so I'm going to submit that. So it's working on that now. So right now it is done. So it has created our PDR-MD. This our PDR is an instruction of how our overall site is going to look like. It has created our progress.md file, so it has told us everything. So if you read through here, you can see the brand name, the color type, the section, what it has actually created for us now. So now with each build is going to update this progress.md now. Let's see the second prompt. Okay, cancel out on this and we add our second prompt. So those prompts, everything is in this document I'm going to share in the caption below. So you just need to copy and paste, but you can also tweak it how you want. So you can add, you can remove whatever you like or add and make it better than this, because with Claude Code, it works best with prompts. So when you give it a very good prompt, it actually gives you a very good result. So you can check this, add more or reduce depending on what you want. So make sure you go through it and update it as you like. Now, let me paste the second prompts. Now we are going to continue. So let's read our documents here. So this now is going to create, this is section 2 only. This is going to add the Scotch Field React, the VIPs, install the stack code in cloud.md. So it's going to set up the scene for us, the hero page, everything that we want is going to do that for us. And here that's going to do, and it's also going to update our progress.md file and stuff. So we're going to just, so subsequently when it stops, we're just going to add this prompt, continue with the next section. So it's building it section by section. So when it's building it section by section, it's also going to update progress.md file. So this is what we're going to say, this continue to the next section until it's done. So it's done, then we're now going to see the live site. So let's go back into our Visual Studio. So it is building. This is going to take a bit of time. You have to be patient with it because it's writing. So you can also see here that it has created some stuff here. It has added more files, the package JSON, the index HTML, everything is going to add everything here. So as it's building, it is adding here. It is adding everything here. So it is building the code for us. We don't need to write a single line of code. So let's wait for it. Let's give it a moment for it to create everything. Then we can ask it to continue. So now it is asking us if it wants to allow it to do this. So we're going to click on allow, and it's going to be able to do that. So that is what you just need to click on allow. If you don't want it to have access, you just click on disallow, then it's going to completely stop. So you can see it is done building our section 1. So that is the importance of this progress.md file. So this progress.md file has our sections. So it has our sections here. Remember I mentioned that we'll have to keep using this from C until it's done building. So now, how are you going to know it is done building? It is from this progress.md file. Now, if you don't understand this progress.md file, all you need to do is ask Claude Code, how many sections is left, or are we done with the sections? And Claude is going to go through the progress.md file and actually analyze it. Okay, are we done building with this section? If it is not done, then it's going to tell you the amount of sections that are remaining for us to build. So right now, these are all the sections we need to build. It is currently building the section 2. That is what it's building right now. So for the next section, it's just going to ask us. So if it stops now, we're going to tell it to continue with section 3, and it's going to install our section 3 for us. So that's how you're going to keep doing that until it's done building. So let's wait for it to complete the run. So section 2 is done building. Section 2 is done building. You can see it here. I mean, so this is not coming out. Let's just ignore that. So section 2 is complete and running. We can actually click here and it's going to display our site, but we don't want to do that. Now let's ask it to continue. So it's going to build us section 3. We want to see the entire site. So right now we can click on this local host and we'll see the website running already, but we want to complete our entire site before we launch anything. So now let's copy the same prompt and give it so it continues for us. A copy. You just need to do the same till it is done building. So we click on that and we just say enter. So it's going to continue building. It's going to the section 3 until it's done building. So when it's done, so these are all the sections here. This is the next section is building here, which is the section 3. And it's going to build these two sections together. Then we move to section 4, section 5, section 6 is going to be our last section. So let's wait for it. Let it build section 3 finish. Then we'll move over to the next section. So right now it is done building our section 3. And if you notice in our progress.md, it has updated section 1. It has updated section 2. If you're looking at this, you'll see that previously we didn't have all this in each section. There were just section 1, section 2 with just this name. But it is updating each section when it's finished building. So section 1 is done, section 2 is done. Now section 3 is also done. Now, if we wanted to make this very accurate, because right now we're building a male fashion website. That's what we're building. We want it to have shoes, we want it to have polo. But if we wanted this to be accurate with the shoes, the polo, although Claude is very smart, but if we wanted it to have we wanted our brand polos or something like that, what we would have done is actually created another folder. We created another folder with our product images, product sneakers, the polo, the bags, everything we wanted. And this would give us a more perfect build. But for this case, we are just telling it, okay, go ahead and build us a shoe, a polo, and make it 3D animated. So sometimes it's perfect, sometimes it's not perfect. So, but if you want it to be perfect consistently, what I always advise you do is create a folder with your product information in the folder, the sneakers, the polo, depending on what your product actually is. So if you're selling a skincare product, you create a folder for your skincare and tell Claude, okay, this is my folder, my brand folder, where it contains my products, images, then you should use that exactly for my product. So you're going to just tell it like that and it's going to understand and build with your product information. Well, in this case, we are just telling it to go ahead and build us product fashion website for sneakers, for polo, and we are all going to see together what it actually builds for us, if it actually got it exactly how we wanted it to do. So right now it is done with section 3. Now this keeps appearing here for some reason. Now let's just leave that and just go and get the second prompt and just paste it here. We're just going to tell it okay to continue because it's just done with the third. It's wrote it here for us. It's completed. The third section is completed and it's live. So once you click on this, you're actually going to see the site. But I want it to be a surprise for all of us. So both me and the audience, we're going to see exactly what it has created. So before we open that, we want to see how it builds everything. We want the entire section to be complete. So the section 3, it actually updated the information what it built here. So this is everything it created for us in section 3, everything, it updated it for us. Now we just want you to continue with the second section. This is section 4. And when it's done with section 4, it's going to build us the section 5. Section 6 is going to be the final section. So let's go ahead and say continue. We're going to wait for it to be done with section 4. And when it's done, we just do the same thing again and again till it's done. So like I said, you can update the prompts however you like. So if you're not okay with what I have done here, you can just add more depending on your business, just update it here. So for this, like I mentioned, we're building for a fashion site. We wanted to build a 3D sneakers for us. Now in this case, we say 3D sneakers, but we didn't give it any sneakers at all. So it's just going to create a sneakers based on its imagination. Now, if you want this to be accurate, like I mentioned, create a folder, the sneakers, the shirts, everything you want it to build on, just add it into your folder. I'm actually curious to actually see how it actually does creating the 3D sneakers for us because we didn't actually give it the sneakers. So I'm curious to see exactly what it created. Let's hope Claude is smart enough to actually do that for us. But if it's not smart enough, then you know what to do. Create a folder next time and add the sneakers, the polo, add everything, all your products, your brand products in a folder for it, and it's just going to use it for you. So the same way we created an MD file, if you want to create a folder, you just click on this here. So this here is going to help you create a new folder in your main folder. So that's all you need to do. Create a folder, name it, and tell Claude to use it next time. So that is how to do that. So let's wait. I'm just curious. I can't wait to see what it actually builds for us this time around. So it's still working. It's still running. This is going to take a bit of time. So let me fast forward this. So our section 4 is complete. It's also live here. But like I said, we're not going to open it yet. Let's go ahead and create section 5. So section 5 is the next. So it's done with section 4. Let's ask it to continue. So it builds our section 5. We just have one more section after this. So let's wait for it to continue. Section 5 is not going to take much time. So let's fast forward it the same way we've been fast forwarding the other section. And just wait for it to complete. Then we come back. Now we have our section 5 complete. We're going to add this final section, which is section 6. So after this, we are then going to see what it has built for us. So let's enter. So you can also notice here that it updated our section 5. This is our section 5. It has updated it. So this is how it does. It just keeps updating it till it's done building. Currently, it has started with section 6. So when it starts creating for section 6, it's going to start updating this the same way it did for the other sections. So let's fast forward this till it's done building, and we'll come back. So this is done building. It is complete. Our section 6 is complete. So now let us check our site. Let us check it out. You can copy this. So for you can just copy this link and just stick it to my browser. We can actually open it there, but I want to see it the whole shebang. So we're going to see the site. So this is where Claude hosted our website. That is why we have this local host here. Now let's see. Let's wait for this to load. Let's wait for it to load up. Okay, so our site is done loading. Now, this is good. It actually created a 3D animation, but it didn't create our sneakers. Now, that's what I was thinking of. I was not going to do a good job in creating our sneakers. And it actually did not do a good job in creating our sneakers, but it created an animation, a 3D animation of what is supposed to be our sneakers. So if you want Cloud to actually give you the best result, you have to give it a resource to work with. Cloud works with prompting, and with our prompts, it gave us a good result, but it didn't give us the actual product we actually wanted. It gave us like a 3D of what is supposed to be a sneakers. So let's go to the rest of the site and see what it actually built for us. So this is a runner, and this is supposed to be a sneaker, not for sneakers, but it's not. So like I mentioned previously, that if you want a better result, create a folder, add your products, your brand products in the folder, and ask Cloud to use those products. Now with that, it's going to work better. But for this, or if you're testing, let's say you don't have a brand, you can actually get images from the web and create a folder and put those products in the folder. So, and Cloud is going to work with what you have. For this case, we just told Cloud we wanted a sneaker, we wanted a polo, we wanted a hat, we wanted some other things, and it tried to use its imagination to create something for us, and it actually gave us a 3D of a polo, a 3D of a sneaker, but this is not what we want completely, but it's actually animated 3D, so you can do better. But for better, we need to give it the actual resource to work with. But this is good. Peter actually did a good job in creating the animation and the 3Ds, but it didn't give us the actual product we wanted. Nobody's going to see this and assume this is the shirt. So, but if you want a better result, a much better result, ensure to create a folder and put your product resources there. So this is a hat. This is what is supposed to be a hat, but it's not a real hat. It's a 3D hat. Okay, so let's go to the rest of the website. Okay, this is nice. So it actually animated, it created a 3D of our logo. We didn't even give it a logo, but it just gave us a logo. Out of the brand name, which is this, it just created a logo that is V in the background. Just look at the 3D animation in the background. It's actually nice. And all we needed to do was just install a couple of skills and give it a few prompts, and we are right there. So imagine what it can do if you actually give it a product and give it the prompts, give it like good prompts to work with. So our prompt is actually good. So we just gave it just a simple prompt, and this is what it gave us. Imagine you give it more prompts, give it the product. It does way, way better. So this is supposed to be a runner, but I don't know what that is, but it's supposed to be a sneakers, but I don't know what that is. So yeah, now animation is quite nice. This is nice. This is really nice. So from an empty folder to a 3D site. Now that is exactly what we build in Orchestrix. If you want this kind of build for your business, the link is in the description. So you can book a 30 minutes consultation with I and my co-founder, Fike, and we'll help you get this done or something, anything like this or something better if that's what you want. So if you enjoyed watching this video, the subscribe button, we post videos like this daily. So if you want to join us, build things like this, or join us, watch us create things like this, or actually help you build this for your business, the link is in the description and you can subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. Bye. Until next time.